What's happening, YouTube? What's up with you? What's up? This video gonna be about Joe Mazzulla, the Boston Celtics, Udoka, and why you seen these coaches getting fired. To me, if you want to talk about conspiracy, it ain't got so much to do with LeBron James does with the Lakers, even though he fires our coaches every other week and they get moved players. That's nothing new. But to me, the real thing is what Joe Mazzulla is doing with Boston, why I see this with Udoka and why I see certain these things are happening. The NBA used to be one of them leagues, kind of like the NFL, where you could sit there. I used to joke about Jeff Fisher when he led the Titans against the Rams, lost that Super Bowl, and had like a 20-year pass. I used to call them the Fisher Price Award because they sit there and anoint you. So if you could buy yourself 20 years on runner-up, or if you want a ring, you could buy your lifetime. And some coaches got that pass. But now they're coming down where the players are coming at them. This is nothing new. Magic Johnson got rid of back at Pal Westhead. Okay, Larry Bird got rid of Bill Fitch. There's nothing new. Winning or losing the finals, if you ain't the coach that they respect, next. You know, when Orlando wasn't gonna get a better coach to propel Shaquille O'Neal there, what happened? Got them up out of there. Jerry West got him out there to LA. What happened when Shaq was in Miami? Stan Van Gundy. It didn't work with him and D Wade. Got him up out of there. He almost won the witness protection program like he was Jimmy Hoffa. Pat Riley came back down. When you coaching up tier type of players, you're gonna have to get results. And this is what happened with Jokic and Michael Malone. There's no grand conspiracy. This ain't nothing new. This has been, you've been watching basketball for 20, 30, 40 years. You've seen this story before. Now, only thing that's suspect is near the end of the season because you got to get familiar and all that. But as far as them getting rid of guys who won or whatnot, no. Look at the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron and with Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel told them that Russell Westbrook off the bench was the only way it was going to work. He outlined all that. They still let him go. So make it make sense. This happens a lot. There's a few coaches who are pretty much untouched. Eric Spoelstra, I would say, Miami, Kerr, and Golden State, Popovich, and San Antonio. Prayers and blessings with him. But the newer era, they're not sitting around letting a guy sit there and collect and run there for 15, 20 years and not get results. And I don't blame them, especially when you have a talent like Jokic. Because Jokic is a bad dude. He might be the best player going there. I ain't arguing that. My problem with Jokic is when they try to put him at the table with Shaq, Wilt, Bill Russell, and Kareem. He ain't at that table. I let him sit with Moses and Akeem. He sits at that table. He ain't past them yet in that table. But for him to get to another level, he got to have a coach that challenge him, got to motivate. It's money time. You can win 50 games with just sneezing sideways. You're losing too many chippy games. You're no discipline. There's no defense. There's no consistency. There's no coherency. So you got to go. Where do I go? And how do I come to this conclusion? Well, Udoka led the Celtics and they lost to Golden State in 2022. And I still think he got ran out of Boston for the hanky-panky, whatever they want to call it. There's no reason to fire him. But anyway, he's doing great in Houston. Got the Rockets went from a 500 team to the second best league in the West right now as we speak. So get that man his flowers and his due. But they replaced him with Joe Mazzulla, who took over in 2023. They nearly came back from a 3-0 deficit against the Miami Heat, who is my team, back when Jimmy Butler was in good standings with the Heat, who lost to Denver, ironically. But Joe Mazzulla went from the Eastern Conference runner-up, and they won a title the next year. And now they're in second in the East, but they're odds-on favorite to win it all. And Jason Tatum is playing with a chip on his shoulder because though he got a gold medal, he got disrespected at the Olympics with hardly no playing time. Jaylen Brown, even worse than that, he was Eastern Conference and the Finals MVP. He didn't get no invite. But you ain't heard a peep out them, have you? And they've been and how do you even know the Boston Celtics to be under the radar, who the winning most championships ever in NBA history, to be so under the radar, no one's talk, but even though they're odds-on favorite, they're low-key. Make it make sense. But Joe Mazzulla's success is changing because, case you don't know, case you don't care, don't want to hear it. Jason Tatum is playing for his placement in NBA history as well. I know he doesn't carry the resume of Giannis and or of Jokic. But he's paying for the same thing those cats is paying for. Because he wants to be held in high lore when his day is done. When they put his name up in the Raptors, which they are. Along with Jaylen Brown. But Joe Mazzulla got them cats playing at a level that's why you don't hear this nonsense. They lose games, but they don't lose stupid games. They're not losing chippy games. And you see the lack of discipline in Memphis and what happened. Everything going on with John Moran, and he's gyrating. And Dylan Brooks was the guy of reasoning who now is being coached by Udoka. So when you're not showing discipline and you're not getting defense and you're not getting results, look at to the Celtics. If you want to talk about a conspiracy, the former head coach of the Celtics and the new current coach of the Celtics are getting results. And they got high tier quality players on their team. Meanwhile, people are looking out here. Jason Tatum, now they had to fight a long time to get to the brass ring. Remember they lost the Eastern Conference Finals to LeBron in Cleveland and lost to Miami a couple times and all that pain. They ain't doing it no more. Now they got a taste of what it's like to be on the other side. They not trying to be like Giannis. Because Giannis done gone through what? 2-3 coaches since 2021? And they got their former teammate, Drew Holiday, who's an X factor for Boston, by the way. Smart basketball sticks with smart teams. Denver won 2 years ago. They ain't nowhere close to going to no finals right now. But you can look at Joe Mazzulla. You can see there ain't no hangover, ain't no layover, ain't no excuses. We're back where we supposed to be. Yeah, Cleveland had out about a year, but that on the side, ain't nobody better than what we doing. And we still like our chances. So and that's what Joe Mazzulla is telling. We like our chances, and that's how the Celtics is rolling. So if you want to understand why all this stuff's going on, that's my conspiracy theory. It's because the Joe Mazzulla Udoka effect with the Boston Celtics and the results. And that's what's causing what happened in Memphis, what causing in Denver, and what you see in Milwaukee. Either i.e. great young talent that ain't getting it done, or i.e. teams that won a chip, but have gotten fat and lazy and can't move and can't do nothing. That ain't the Boston Celtics situation. They're putting pressure. And if you think I'm lying, I'm going to bet you cash money. You're going to see more movement. Because, hey, if Denver don't get on the ball, Joker's going to want out of there. Giannis going to want to. I mean, I'm telling you. They're looking at what Boston is with continuity. Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics is why you see all these shakeups going on right now in the NBA. That's part of my belief. Because I'm watching. And then Udoka done got Houston straight. So when you get the right coach who brings a winning attitude, they're not selling for layoffs and hangovers and you just don't get it together. You got to stay consistent. That's what consistency is about. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.